Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we delve into Singapore's legal landscape to shed light on laws that shape our society. Today, we are discussing a controversial and severe form of punishment, mandatory caning. Singapore is known for its tough laws, and caning remains a mandatory punishment for certain offences. But what are these offences, and why does Singapore impose such a punishment, and what can we learn from it? Let's explore. Mandatory caning is a legal punishment in Singapore for several serious offences. Let's dive into the top 3 offences where it applies: drug trafficking, robbery, and outrage of modesty. The first offence is drug trafficking under the Misuse of Drugs Act. In Singapore, the phrase drug trafficking does not simply mean selling drugs or carrying a suitcase of drugs and walking to the airport. Selling small quantities, for example, half a gram, or even giving drugs to your friend for free, regardless of the amount, is considered drug trafficking. For drug trafficking, even if it's selling just one ecstasy pill, mandatory caning is imposed. Singapore's zero-tolerance stance on drugs stems from the desire to protect society from the devastating effects of drug abuse. Mandatory caning acts as a deterrent, signaling the severe consequences of trafficking illicit substances. The second offence is robbery under the Penal Code, which mandates caning, particularly when violence is involved. Section 392 of the Penal Code specifies mandatory caning for robbery that involves causing harm. People convicted of robbery face a minimum sentence of 2 years and at least 6 strokes of the cane. If the robbery is committed after 7 p.m. at night and before 7 a.m. in the morning, the offender faces at least 3 years of imprisonment and at least 12 strokes of the cane. In the case of armed robbery under Section 397, offenders face at least 12 strokes. The third offence that imposes mandatory caning is outrage of modesty, often referred to as molestation, under Section 354 of the Penal Code. Caning is mandatory when aggravating factors are present, such as the use of force or if the victim is below 14 years of age. This punishment underscores the seriousness of protecting personal dignity and bodily autonomy, especially for vulnerable individuals. It also serves as a warning to potential offenders about the severe consequences of such acts. Now that we've covered the offences, let's discuss why Singapore imposes mandatory caning. The rationale revolves around 3 key objectives: deterrence, retribution, and societal protection. Caning is a painful and humiliating punishment designed to deter potential offenders from committing serious crimes. The visible scars left by caning reinforce the gravity of these offences. For victims and their families, mandatory caning provides a sense of justice. It emphasizes that offenders cannot escape harsh consequences for their actions. By making penalties severe, Singapore seeks to maintain a safe and orderly society where crimes like drug trafficking, robbery, and molestation are minimized. Mandatory caning is undoubtedly a divisive topic. Supporters argue that it is effective in deterring crime and upholding the law and order in a densely populated city-state like Singapore. Critics, however, highlight the human rights concerns associated with corporal punishment, questioning whether such measures are too harsh or outdated. Yet, in a pragmatic society like Singapore, laws are shaped by what works. Statistics show that drug-related crimes, robberies, and molestation cases are significantly lower than in many other countries. While the method may be controversial, its results cannot be ignored. Still, as a society, we must continuously evaluate our laws. Are they serving justice or are they inflicting undue harm? It's a delicate balance between safeguarding the community and upholding the values of compassion and rehabilitation. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay informed and stay safe.